The council chamber fell silent as Commander Vrell slammed his primary manipulator against the obsidian table. His skin rippled through 17 shades of fury, each one more vivid than the last. "You're telling me," he hissed, his translator unit struggling to keep pace with his rage, "that Shadow-Fang is dead?" The messenger, a young officer named Tick, physically shrank beneath his commander's gaze. "Yes, Commander." The human caught the vibroblade. With her bare hand. Vrell's 3 eyes narrowed into slits. "Caught it?" "Tick, that blade operates at 40,000 oscillations per second. It can slice through reinforced titanium like it's nothing more than morning mist." "I know, sir." Tick's voice trembled. "I was there. I watched it happen. 3 cycles ago, the collective had been certain. Absolutely, positively, stake your entire military career certain. Humans were soft. They bled easily. They died even easier. Sure, they'd won a few battles through sheer, blind luck and an apparent addiction to doing incredibly stupid things at precisely the right moment, but that was just probability playing favorites, right? Wrong. So catastrophically, humiliatingly wrong. Vrell gestured for Tick to continue, his patience wearing thinner than atmospheric shielding on a budget transport. "We cornered her in Sector 9, Tick explained, his secondary arms fidgeting nervously. "Captain Elena Kovacs. Intelligence said she was just a supply officer. No combat enhancements. No genetic modifications. Just, human." "And Shadow-Fang?" Vrell prompted, though part of him didn't want to know the answer. "He did everything right, Commander. Everything." He approached from her blind spot, utilized full stealth protocols, moved with perfect silence. The blade was centimeters from her throat when she turned around and grabbed it. Vrell felt his respiratory system pause. Actually pause. The biological impossibility of what he'd just heard made his brain temporarily forget how breathing worked. "She grabbed it," he repeated slowly, as if saying it slower might make it make sense. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Tick nodded miserably. Her hand closed around the blade mid-strike. "There was this sound, Commander. Like metal screaming. The vibroblade, I mean, not her. She didn't scream at all. She just looked at Shadow-Fang and smiled. Actually smiled, Commander. Then she said something in that bizarre Earth language of theirs." "What did she say?" "Nice try." Tick's translator rendered the human words with an almost apologetic tone. "Then she crushed the blade in her fist like it was made of clay, not military-grade ceramasteel. Shadow-Fang attempted to retreat, but she was faster. Faster than a Korthian assassin, Commander. She moved like physics was optional for her species." Vrell sank into his command chair, his mind racing. Shadow-Fang had been their best. Their absolute best. Trained since hatching in 17 different killing arts. Cybernetic enhancements that cost more than most planetary defense budgets. He'd eliminated warlords, toppled governments, and once killed a target from 3 star systems away using a quantum-linked neurotoxin that shouldn't have even been theoretically possible. And some human supply officer had just caught his blade? How did she survive? Vrell demanded. The blade should have severed every tendon, every nerve, every... That's the thing, sir. Tick pulled up a holographic display, and Vrell immediately wished he hadn't. The medical scan of Elena Kovacs' hand showed something that defied every piece of biological knowledge the collective had accumulated over 10,000 years of galactic dominance. Her hand was fine. Not healed. Not regenerated. Not even particularly damaged. Fine. There were some superficial cuts, sure, barely worth mentioning. The kind of thing you'd get from handling thorny plants, not from grabbing a weapon designed to cut through starship hulls. The scans showed her bone density was absurd, her muscle fiber arrangement was chaotic yet somehow perfectly optimized, and her nervous system responded to trauma by apparently laughing and asking for more. This can't be natural evolution, Vrell muttered, studying the data with growing dread. Intelligence agrees, sir. They believe humans must have undergone extensive genetic warfare in their prehistoric past. Something so violent, so sustained, that only the absolute toughest survive to reproduce. Their planet is a death world, Commander. Gravity that would crush most species. Atmospheric oxygen levels that are practically toxic. Predators that evolved specifically to hunt cooperative, intelligent prey. And they climbed to the top of that food chain, Vrell finished quietly. Clawed their way to the top, sir, Tick corrected. Often literally. Vrell stood, his decision made. Recall all assassination teams. Immediately. If Shadow-Fang couldn't eliminate one unarmed human, we need to reconsider our entire tactical approach. Sir, the Grand Admiral won't like that. He's already authorized deployment of the Whisper Death unit to target human leadership. Oh, fantastic. Because if there was one thing this situation needed, it was more assassins throwing themselves at humans like moths at a plasma torch. When do they deploy? Vrell asked, already knowing he wouldn't like the answer. They're already en route, Commander. Target designation is Ambassador Marcus Vale. Human diplomatic envoy. He's scheduled to address the Galactic Congress in 2 planetary rotations. Vrell felt something cold settle in his gut. An ambassador? You're sending Whisper Death after a diplomat? The Grand Admiral believes eliminating their diplomatic corps will destabilize their political structure. Right. Because that had worked so well every other time someone had tried it. Vrell pulled up Ambassador Vale's file, hoping against hope that maybe, just maybe, this human was actually soft. Actually vulnerable. Actually normal by any reasonable standard of biology. The file loaded. Marcus Vale. Age, 52 Earth years, whatever that meant. Previous occupation, human military, Special Operations Division, retired. Decorated veteran of something called the Titan Wars, which apparently involved humans fighting each other on a moon with barely any atmosphere and thinking that was a perfectly reasonable place to have a conflict. His service record was redacted. All of it. Every single mission, every operation, every deployment, just gone. Classified at levels that required authorization from the human high command itself. Oh no, Vrell whispered. Sir. They didn't send us a diplomat. They sent us a soldier wearing a diplomat's clothes. Ambassador Marcus Vale straightened his tie and tried not to laugh at the 3 Whisper Death operatives currently hiding in his quarters. The thermal scanner built into his optical implant, courtesy of 12 years in special operations, highlighted them perfectly. One behind the ventilation grate, one tucked impossibly into the closet space, and one, bless their ambitious little heart, clinging to the ceiling like some kind of homicidal spider. Points for effort. Minus several thousand points for thinking humans couldn't detect active camouflage systems. He poured himself a glass of whiskey, Earth imported because the local stuff tasted like fermented despair, and settled into his chair. You know, he said conversationally to his apparently empty room, I have to admire the dedication. Whisper Death unit, right? I've read your operational files. Impressive success rate. 87 confirmed eliminations across 9 species. The silence that followed was delicious. He could practically hear their confusion. Let me guess, Marcus continued, swirling his whiskey. Command told you I was just some paper pusher? Some soft diplomatic type who'd fold faster than a house of cards in a hurricane? More silence. These assassins had discipline, he'd give them that. Here's the thing about human diplomats, Marcus said, taking a slow sip. We're basically just soldiers who got tired of shooting first and talking never. The job description changes. The skill set doesn't really go anywhere. The operative in the ceiling made their move. Fast. Professional. The kind of strike that had probably worked flawlessly dozens of times before. Marcus moved faster. He didn't just dodge. Dodging was for people who wanted to waste time. He rotated his chair, caught the descending assassin by what he assumed was an ankle, though alien anatomy always got confusing, and redirected their momentum straight into the floor. The impact created a crater in the decorative tile that the Galactic Congress was definitely going to bill Earth for. "Sorry about your friend," Marcus said to the remaining two. "But please, don't stop on my account. I haven't had a decent workout in weeks." The closet operative came next, launching some kind of neural disruptor that would have shut down most nervous systems instantly. Would have. Marcus's augmented physiology, designed specifically to resist exotic weapon effects after that incident on Proxima Station, processed the attack like a mild itch. He crossed the room in 3 steps, which was impressive considering the room was designed for species with much longer legs, and delivered a palm strike that sent the operative crashing through his actual closet and into the bathroom beyond. The sound of shattering tile and groaning metal echoed through the diplomatic quarters. "That's coming out of my security deposit," Marcus muttered. The third operative, showing wisdom that their companions had lacked, simply deactivated their camouflage and raised all 4 hands in surrender. They were Vrell, Marcus realized. Purple exoskeleton, compound eyes, mandibles that clicked nervously. "Smart choice," Marcus said, though he kept his stance ready. "Let me guess. Command didn't tell you about Tokyo?" The Vrell's translator made a sound somewhere between a wheeze and a sob. "Tokyo? 15 years ago. Urban warfare training exercise that went very, very wrong when a terrorist cell decided to attack the facility. 47 hostiles, fully armed, with tactical support and air superiority." Marcus smiled, and it wasn't a nice smile. "I had a training knife and profound irritation at having my lunch interrupted. Want to know how many of them walked away?" The Vrell didn't answer, but their skin had gone 3 shades paler. "0, Marcus supplied helpfully. "The answer is 0. Now, here's what's going to happen. You're going to contact your commander and deliver a message for me." Meanwhile, back in the council chamber, Commander Vrell was experiencing what humans called a very bad day, and what his species called existential dread warranting immediate retirement. The communication from the Whisper Death unit came through on emergency channels. Visual only. The image showed all 3 operatives, conscious but clearly defeated, arranged in neat rows on Ambassador Vale's floor. Behind them, Marcus Vale himself sat calmly in his chair, whiskey in hand, looking for all the galaxy like someone who just finished light housework rather than defeating 3 of the deadliest assassins in known space. "Commander Vrell, I presume," Marcus said, his voice carrying the kind of pleasant tone usually reserved for discussing weather, not warfare. "I'm Marcus Vale. We haven't been formally introduced, but your teams keep trying to kill me and my people, so I thought we should chat." Vrell's skin went through colors that didn't have names yet. "Your operatives are unharmed," Marcus continued. "Mostly. That one might need some dental work, but I'm sure your medical tech can handle it. I'm returning them to you as a gesture of goodwill, because despite what you might think, humans prefer talking to fighting." "Then why," Vrell managed to rasp out, "are you so terrifyingly good at fighting?" Marcus's expression grew serious. "Because, Commander, we spent 200,000 years on a planet that was actively trying to kill us. Ice ages, supervolcanoes, predators with teeth longer than your arm. We survived. Then we spent the next 10,000 years fighting each other over everything from territory to ideology to what invisible entity in the sky was the correct one to worship. We got really, really good at violence. Not because we wanted to. Because we had to." He leaned forward, and something in his eyes made Vrell understand why this human had survived things that should have killed him. "But here's the secret that your intelligence division keeps missing," Marcus said softly. "We also got really good at stopping violence. At finding ways to not fight. At building peace even when war would be easier. That's what diplomats are, Commander. We're the people who figured out that just because you can crush your enemies doesn't mean you should. Vrell felt something shift in his understanding. You could have killed them. Of course I could have, Marcus agreed. But then we'd be right back where we started, wouldn't we? You'd send more assassins. We'd send soldiers. People would die. Resources would burn. And for what? Because we scared you? You do scare us, Vrell admitted. Good, Marcus said bluntly. Fear breeds respect, and respect breeds caution, and caution keeps people alive long enough to actually talk. So here's my proposal. You stop trying to kill us. We'll stop terrifying you by simply existing. And maybe, just maybe, we can figure out how to share this galaxy without anyone else having to catch a vibroblade with their bare hands. He stood, helping one of the Whisper Death operatives to their feet with surprising gentleness. Your people will be at the drop coordinates within the hour. Unharmed. Think about my offer, Commander. Because the next team you send might not be so lucky. The transmission ended. Vrell sat in silence for a long moment, then turned to Tick. Cancel all operations against human targets. All of them. Immediately. Sir, the Grand Admiral. Will receive my full report on why continuing this course of action is tactical suicide, Vrell interrupted. Humans aren't just tough. They're not just dangerous. They're smart enough to be dangerous and disciplined enough not to be unless we force them. That, Tick, is the most terrifying combination in the entire galaxy. As Tick scrambled to send the orders, Vrell pulled up the human expression database and searched for one that matched his current emotional state. The computer suggested, well, that could have gone worse. For once, the translator got it exactly right. Friends, if you are enjoying our videos and want to watch new and exciting sci-fi and HFY stories every day, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure to turn on the bell icon so you never miss any of our latest uploads. Like the video and share it with your friends as well, so our community can continue to grow and bring you even more amazing content.